Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, back with another video. This is going to be our roster overview and kind of what we're going to do before the live stream, which is going to be on Sunday, which is the 1st of August. It's going to be at 12 o'clock or noon CST, so Central Standard Time. But without further ado, let's crack straight into this one. So, position players, Kyle Schwarber. I think he is a mainstay for our catcher position. We could also use him out in the outfield if we want. What we want out of the catcher position is a consistent guy who can play, but also a consistent level from our batting. And going 230 isn't too bad for Schwarber, who's consistently batted around 230 his entire career. So it's about average. I'd like to see it go up, but his slugging percentage was a lot more, up towards 500 like it was in 2019. But did pretty good with 77 RBIs, 33 home runs, had 142 games. I think he had a week or so where he's banged up a little bit, but pretty happy with this play. Vlad was 141 games, 20 home runs, so one more than he had last year, 63 RBIs, so continuously making higher and higher strides. Still not as high as his 2019 season with 69 RBIs, but he's finally getting up there to match that. It was in 141 games. Did have not as many hits as he did last year, because he did bat 312. Had more strikeouts, just about as many walks. So I think he did a pretty good job for us, and he's going to be the mainstay at first base, obviously. Now, the idea here is Gurriel is in left with being 28 years old. I like Gurriel. He's got a good arm with that 66 out in left field. He batted 267 this year, so under what he's historically batted before. Did have 33 home runs and 176 RBIs. Not as many as he did last season. I think last season he was a lot better. Too shy home runs, but that RBI total is 30 less. That's a little concerning, but the biggest thing with him is he can play all over the field, which makes him more usable than some of the other guys like Teoscar Hernandez. Hernandez, though, batted under what he normally does, 266, 35 home runs, 100 RBIs. He played fantastic. Biggest thing, though, at 29 years old, I think he's going in the last year of his contract. I think it's 2022 right now, right? Yes. So I'm not sure what we're ultimately going to do with him. I think we will have to re-sign him. Free agent. So we'll kind of see what we go. We might give him the qualifying offer and see if he leaves. If he doesn't leave, then we will go ahead and re-sign him. George Springer, at 32 years old, 83 overall. The guy is a monster. 35 home runs, 95 RBIs. He's going nowhere. But I think he played pretty well this season. Bitchette, who was injured. Biggio was the one that injured. Bitchette at third. At 292. The guy was stellar. 139 games. Played, had 168 hits, so a little bit less, about 10 less than last season, but that's not too bad. 36 home runs, though. 36. 101 RBIs. He was good. All right. Rogers played some games here. 108 because of the injury to Biggio. Had 14 home runs, 52 RBIs. Batted 245, so pretty good. He's coming up in there. He's playing well. Baez at short. Rogers did play some time at short. Baez got hurt with a shoulder cartilage damage later on in the season. Missed about 40 games or so. But batted 240, 22 home runs, 43 RBIs. I think he struggled for a lot. So I think that shoulder cartilage damage was more. But he kind of slumped to start it. But hey, I think he could have a bounce back here going into next year. Cavan Biggo was hurt, only played 86 games. Was playing pretty well with 14 home runs and 43 RBIs before he went down, batting 240. But I think he is going to have a bounce back year. The biggest thing with Biggo, no matter what, we're going to keep him on the team. But the fact with Biggo, we can move him to one of those outfield positions. So it gives us flexibility at second, third, really just second, left, or right. So we could have some moves. So we could make a huge trade in the offseason with Hernandez or Gurriel, or signing someone at second. So who knows? We could see. Alderaan Simmons, a guy we signed as a platoon player. Had 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, 272. Played great. At 32 years old, he's going to be on the roster for a couple more years at least. Mark Canha, the same thing. Shohei was injured for a lot of the year, so he only had 13 games that he played in. 2-5, 61 innings pitched, and 4.84 there. For batting, 7 home runs and 24 RBIs. Batted 249, so pretty decent there, but injuries kind of bogged him down. Also, we have Diaz here, who could be up, and I want him to get some more platoon time out in the outfield. And I think that's why we might end up trading someone out in the outfield. Still only batting 184 in 47 games, 87 at bats. Not great, but I think if we can get someone that he can platoon with, I think we could see something here, and he could play against left-handed batters and see what he can do down the stretch. Chance Sisco we had to bring in for a backup catcher, and Kobayashi was, I guess he was brought up as a late inning or late year type deal, but he didn't play. We'll see if Kobayashi can play up at the MLB. Now, the one thing I could say with this is we could possibly have Kobayashi come up, play second. We can move Cavan Biggo out in the outfield, and we'll have Kobayashi start. And in that case, what do we do there? We make a trade. Maybe we end up switching up this roster completely out in the outfield. I don't know. I particularly like Springer, so I don't think he's going anywhere. Still has a lot of years on this deal, so I don't think he's going anywhere at all. So maybe we trade both the outfielders in the corner, and we kind of switch up and see what we do here. So looking at our farm system, start with, for pitcher, we did pick up J.C. Clowney in the Rule 5 draft this year. He was in 10 games started, 71 games in total out of the bullpen, 13-11 with 3 saves, 3 blown saves, and 6 holds. Pitched 205 innings with a 4.34 ERA and a whip around at 1.42. I don't think he's ready for a huge spot in rotation, more like maybe our 4 or 5, but not going to crack in our top 3. Pretty much our top 3 is likely going to be Ohtani, Manoah. I'm not sure if Scherzer is going to stay here. We'll see if he ends up retiring. But as of right now, let's assume that he does retire. Same thing with Darvish, and same thing with Ryu. And so, let's just say those guys retire. I think we deal Glasnow in a huge blockbuster trade with some of those outfielders in the offseason. Or maybe we just let him go. I don't think there's. Yeah, if he's in the free agency, I think we just let him go and see what happens. Maybe give him the qualifying offer and see if someone signs him. So it becomes Ohtani, who we will obviously re-sign. Alek Manoah. Clowney would either be the fifth or long reliever. I think it's time for Woods Richardson to come up and play. So I think he's going to be at the MLB level next year. He had a fractured forearm that kind of made his AAA year short. But I think he's ready to come up and see what he's got. Same thing with Zach Logue. So we might have two guys up at the MLB level at this point. Is 24 Woods Richardson. Maybe Woods Richardson stays down at the AAA level and we go with Logue to start it. We did pitch with him some, so I think he's got some stuff that he could do at the MLB level. So I think we end up coming up with him. Nate Pearson does have some MLB experience, so I think he comes up as well in a long relief spot. And that's pretty much our bullpen there because I don't think Darvish will. If Darvish doesn't retire, we're probably going to end up dealing him. So it becomes Ohtani, Manoah, J.C. Clowney, Zach Logue, Nate Pearson, and maybe we get a pitcher out of this Glasnow trade. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 guys already up there. And then we'll see what we can get out of a trade maybe. The bullpen, I'm kind of liking this. Reyes does have some long relief potential. Depending if he gets through waivers, if he gets all the way through, then he will be the guy that is our long relief out of the bullpen. As for everything else, I don't think we're going to re-sign Doolittle. We do have Dwyer on the roster for a bit of team control. Same thing with Romano. Soria will likely be gone from there. And then we might pick up another bullpen arm there. Closing pitching, I like Freddie Peralta. He's going to be our closer from here on out. Pitched pretty good with a 2.78 ERA. We did get him at the deadline. He didn't pitch too much for the Brewers other than maybe a setup or a relief. So we'll see what we can do there. Colin Poche will be up at the majors as the setup. He did have 9 blown saves, and that's why we did the trade for Peralta. So I think maybe he can have a bounce back here. In 2021, he pitched fantastic, but I don't think he had a lot of opportunities. Willard looking more and more closer to being able to come up. I think he has one more year. Strope will be out. I think he'll end up retiring or moving on. And then the guys down below will be in AAA and AA. Kind of already went through catcher. Schwarber is our catcher for the future. We're kind of have 2 guys here. Gabriel Moreno, who we are developing here, has had some MLB time up, and he just could not do it. So I think he's going to start at AAA again. Same with Huey Emerson. Emerson has a bigger potential to come up sooner, probably. But we'll kind of see how they develop from there. At first base, Diaz needs some time down in the minors, so we'll let him keep on developing. I think he's got a couple years. No rush there. Zimmerman will be out. I think this was a 1-year contract. It was for some depth because of some injuries. Kobayashi is the one that we really don't know about. I think he'll end up being either at the MLB level or he will end up being a guy that is at AAA. We do have Cronin who's also kind of waiting as well. You have Tahito Yamashita, who's going to be at AA. and he will be one of the guys likely starting at AA. At third, you got Bitchette and Rogers. We're good here. We also have Miguel Gerardo, who can play anywhere in the infield. I think he has another year as well. So we have some good picks that we had in the infield, and there's no rush kind of bringing in some of these guys along. At short, obviously it's going to be Baez with Simmons playing some platoon time all over the place. On the infield, that's why we brought him in. Freeman, I think it's time we bring him up again at this point to be a guy on the bench. 21 years old, 71 overall. About 246 in his time up at the majors, but we eventually had to send him down because of some guys returning from injury. Orioles. Wow. Orelvis Martinez, I think is his name. I think he's going to be the guy starting at AAA, and Groshans will be kind of platooning at AAA as well, and then kind of know the rest down below. The biggest thing is Gurriel might be on the block here. He has one more. He has 4 years of team control, and that's why he's an attractive piece to maybe deal in the offseason. But we have no depth here behind that could come up. It's all really here with Diaz, who has good speed, good arm, so he would move out in right field. And maybe we see what we can do in the other spots. Mark Canha, we signed him for a guy that can be all over the place, so obviously he'll be staying. And Albert Almora might end up at the MLB level as a bench guy. We also have Florial down here, but I think we can spend some time waiting for him to get some development down at AAA. Good durability on Diaz too, so we don't have to worry about that. So it's kind of like what we're going with right now. Top prospects, it's Woods Richardson. But looking at this, I don't think we're going to be able to get Atkin. I don't think that's going to work. CJ Abrams, no. I don't think I'd want Bobby Witt. Now, Chase Strumpf is interesting. Let's go Alvarez, no. We dealt Armenteros, and I'm kind of regretting that right now. We've done Brujan before. Oh, Miguel Gerardo's up here. So is Ryan Avery. If I had to make a trade, they're rebuilding here in Detroit. We'd have to give them prospects. Candelario plays third, though, and first. Don't know about that. They're rebuilding in Seattle. Dylan Moore, maybe? Dylan Moore could play all over. But I'm not... That's not a pretty attempt. Could we do a Joey Gallo trade? Well, he goes into free agency. We'll see if he's resigned. Odor? David Dahl's 28 is a free agent. We'll have to see who goes there. Marlins. Playoff puts with the Mets. I don't think there's anyone in particular that they would give up. Phillies. Reds are rebuilding. Suarez? He can't play second. Maybe Moustakas. But that's like a deadline move. Maybe Frazier. Does they have Newman? Maybe it's Frazier. Do they deal? We went to Trevor Story route before. San Fran with Whit Merrifield. He's 33. He's on a down year. Clint Frazier ended up over here as well. Tampa Bay. Yes, I don't see anyone that may give up anyone. We can't really see. We'll have the budget right now. Yearly projected deficit would likely be go into next season, but we're going to be clearing a lot off the books going into next season. For everything else, I think that's all I want to kind of preview for the off-season stream. So don't forget, this Sunday, August 1st, we're going to be doing the live stream at noon CST. So it'll be only on YouTube. Thank you all for hanging out for this video. If you have any suggestions, I know we kind of didn't go through who is available in that because we can't really see, which kind of sucks. Maybe I have a save that is before this. Let me double check this right quick. We do have one that's October 1st. Here we go. That we should be able to look at free agents. No, it's so here's our draft picks. This is something we weren't able to see. We do have Dwayne Geardy, but that hit per night, he's going to be a AAA. Skelton, who needs some work. Only play first. Tom Mackey, who needs some work. Mark Hanna, definitely needs some work. Seacrest also needs some work. So that's not going to be there as well. Here we go, transactions. So let's look at anyone to age 30. Here we go. Kind of look. So Bellinger, Soto could be out there, but I think he's under arbitration. Walker Buehler could be interesting if he's not. He's got another year of arbitration. I think Chapman does as well. Judge, who should be a free agent at this point, so that could be a splash there. Aaron Nola could be out. We'll see if he gets a qualifying offer. Flannery is under arbitration. Jose Ramirez is a free agency. So that is a suggestion as well. We bring him in to maybe play some left field or second base. Maybe some outfielder, but he does have good fielding. Luis Castillo has a year of arbitration. Blake Snell. Now this, he's got 2 years left. That's weird. Alvarez is under arbitration. Contreras is a free agent, so that's something we could do. We could pull in Contreras if he's not re-signed, and then we go in and have Schwarber back out in the outfield. Something we could do. Buxton could be out there. Giolito saw some arbitration. Josh Hader has a year of arbitration. Trey Turner. Now this could be interesting. We could bring in Trey Turner if he's a free agent. Woodruff has 2 years of arbitration. That's good for them. Luis Severino is a free agent, so that is an idea, but I don't think we'd really go with that. Going through Jeff McNeil. Has a couple years of arbitration. Levinger might be a free agent, so that's something we could look at. Josh Bell as well, a guy who could play right field and first base. So maybe we'd make some more changes. Horner is still on the Cubs, and I don't think we could get Nico Horner. This would be probably best case scenario, but I don't think the Cubs are going to give him up. I would love to get Nico Horner. This could be a good... Oh, he's in arbitration. Hicks will be in arbitration. Dylan Moore is in arbitration. I wish you could sift out. So Tim Anderson at second base would be intriguing. Verdugo is in arbitration. Randy is in a contract renewal, so I think he'll be renewed though. Ketel Marte. That's an interesting one if he comes out. But I would like... The biggest thing is what can we get for some prospects when it comes to trades. Kind of what it comes down to. We are going to make one blockbuster trade this offseason, 100%. Because we do have Hernandez out there. We're going to be trading... Let's kind of go back to our other save file here. I forgot I did save that one so we can look at kind of like the rosters. Wait, did I? Oh, I accidentally reloaded it. October 10th. There it is. So we do have some things that we could do. Ultimately, I think what it comes down to is we get a deal. We send Glass now. Actually, he probably goes into free agency. So Darvish. I think we send Darvish. Gurriel. And maybe a pitching prospect. And maybe Pearson, 25 years old, for a big prospect that can come in the infield or the outfield, make an impact. So again, I'm going to say it's Sunday on the 1st at noon CST. We'll be doing this off season. Go ahead and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe. I'm sure I probably said that one too, but let's roll with it. And I will see you guys later.